On the nutrition segment this morning, we're going to be talking about why folic acid and iron are so important, especially as we're looking at this this new wave of COVID-19 that seems to be ravaging the country. Akwese, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm awesome, yourself?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. How was your Valentine's weekend?
It was a normal day.
It was a normal.
Every day can be Valentine's.
The weekend was just normal for you. And you're not into that?
Not really. I don't pressure myself.
Okay, all right. Fantastic. So let's talk about the situation we find ourselves in currently with COVID-19 and everything else, and the impact folic acid and iron can have, so that we can be healthier. Yeah.
Okay, so iron, very critical. Iron is very important because we need to make sure that our blood health is there, or our blood levels are there. So you need to make sure that iron is something that is of importance to you if you have blood in you. I have blood in me, you have blood in you. So iron is very critical for every human being, from the baby to the last person and the family. If you're a man, you should be asking yourself where you find yourself as far as your HB levels or hemoglobin levels are concerned. It should be between 14 grams per deciliter to 18 grams per deciliter as stipulated, or that is what the WHO, the World Health Organization, expects every man to, where every man is supposed to be. And for every woman menstruating age, every woman, girl, you need to make sure that your HB is also 12 grams per deciliter to 16 grams per deciliter. Okay. For a pregnant woman, if you are at 11 grams per deciliter, we go like it's healthy. It's something you can enter into labor with. So if you get nothing from this conversation at all, just ask yourself this question: where do I find myself as far as my hemoglobin level is concerned? If it's anything below 11 grams or anything that doesn't fall within the 12 to 16 for women and the 14 to 18 for a man, you need to really be up and doing and pay attention to whatever we will show here. You can come back later, watch it again, pick the clues as to the foods to eat to make sure your iron and folate levels are enhanced. Now, there is something about iron that we all need to know as far as women in our menstrual and childbearing age is concerned. Sometimes the reason why even fertility issues or conception is not happening is because your iron folate levels are very porous.
I see.
So you need to make sure that you are paying attention to that. Every woman will need 60 milligrams of elementary iron, and it's the reason why even the First Lady introduced the GIFT program, where girls were supplemented on a tablet, just to help, because there was a reason to make sure that the iron levels of girls from 11, 12, thereabout to 19, teenagers, adolescents and teenagers had their iron levels checked. It helps. So if you are newlyweds, you want to make sure that conception is even happening, you need to pay attention. Now, iron, folic acid, or folate. Folate is the natural form, and because sometimes our stores are not enriched enough, there is a need for folic acid supplementation. You need to make sure that you are paying attention to, because it's 2 of the 8 nutrients you need as far as even building your immunity against this COVID-19 or new wave is concerned. We have vitamin D, we have vitamin C, we have vitamin A, we have folic acid or folate, we have iron, we have selenium. You need to make sure you are paying critical attention to all this. Now, iron is needed for us to make hemoglobin, which is the protein found in our red blood cells. And is the reason why lungs are able to travel. Blood is able to be traveled from the lungs to other parts of the body. So you make sure these nutrients are of concern to you in these times of COVID-19, the new wave, any other infection. Now, our focus is on 2 of them, the folic acid and the iron. Now, iron will help you convert blood sugar into energy. So I ate yam and palava sauce for lunch. My body is not going to work with the yam and palava sauce. My body is going to work with the glucose that is released from the food I ate. And as a matter of fact, it will work with the energy derived from that glucose. Glucose is basically energy. So that is what my body will need to work with. And iron is responsible for that conversion. So that's why I started by saying that you need to make sure your iron stores is really enhanced, and I've given the range. Now for folic acid, there is supplementation, because sometimes the reason is also because our way of handling foods, these are examples of folic rich foods. How we handle food sometimes destroys some of the minerals in these foods. And so there is a critical need for supplementation. And iron, folic acid, they kind of walk together and they work perfectly together. So 400 microgram, as far as supplementation is concerned, will go a long way to also help you as far as your folic acid stores is concerned. Now, red meat, examples of iron-rich foods. But if you're a pregnant woman, research says that you should limit your consumption of liver. Liver, because it contains higher levels of retinol. That is an example of vitamin A. Because the levels are too high, or they are extremely higher, you can hurt your baby. So if you're a pregnant woman, I'm not saying cut it off, but be guided as far as your consumption of liver is concerned, because of higher levels of retinol. So you having these nutrients will help you, because one, it will help with your cognitive functioning. Cognitive has to do with your brain. Our brains are nothing without blood. And so definitely you improve on it. It boosts your immune system. That's the most important reason for which even this topic came in the first place, because now immune system is such a big deal for you, for myself, for everybody, because we need to stay fit in order to guard ourselves as far as doing the protocols are concerned, but we also doing our part to stay fit as far as a new wave and this COVID-19 is concerned. So you need to make sure you are doing just that. And we've spoken about some of the examples of folic acid rich foods. Now make them part of your meals. The iron rich foods, make them part of your meals. And where there is a need for supplementation, I think after you going through the labs and you realizing that, oh, your stores are porous or there is a deficiency somewhere, you need to make sure you seek help from a nutritionist, a dietitian, or talk to your caregiver. Now there are signs to look out for if your iron levels are low. The least thing you do, you are tired. So it could be like just walking from makeup to the studio. I got here and it's like I carried 3 bags of cement.
So some 3 flights of stairs and you are completely exhausted.
You are completely exhausted. Then lethargy sets in. So now that is the extreme form of I am tired. You become very weak. That is a clue. If you feel dizzy, especially in pregnant women, it's very risky, because I go like, you can't collapse as a pregnant woman. It can be bad for you and the baby. It's very dangerous. So you need to make sure that is also another clue for you to pick points from if you are a pregnant woman, or not even a pregnant woman. If you feel dizzy, if you feel drowsy, if you feel tired, and the extreme form of tiredness happens, lethargy happens, then it means that your hemoglobin levels are low. And a good way to bring it back is to incorporate the iron-rich foods into your meals. And where there is a need for supplementation to be done, I'm sure you will be helped to take care of it as far as being treated is concerned. And now, if there are persons who will automatically suffer a deficiency in folic acid, so pay attention. If you are one of these people, seek help. Talk to a nutritionist. Talk to.
When you say automatically suffer a deficiency, what's causing that?
There is a need for an increase as far as even supplementation for them is concerned, based on the conditions they have. Somebody with sickle cell. So the sickle cell people, even for the tablet that the First Lady is giving, we don't give it to them because they are on a different program, and it factors into that as far as their need for some of these minerals are concerned. So if you have kidney diseases and you are on dialysis, you need to really talk to you need to go beyond what you are listening now. Talk to your specialist, yes, to be guided, because definitely the dosage you will give 400 microgram for you and myself might be different for you, because your case is different. Somebody with sickle cell disease, I've spoken about that. You need to make sure the right thing is done for you. Somebody with epilepsy, if you are somebody who is epileptic, if you have diabetes mellitus, that's the type 2 diabetes, any form of diabetes, you need to ask. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, some conditions, asthma. Asthma is very important to me. You need to make sure there is some form of discussion, because for these people, there is a deliberate need to sometimes increase the normal dosage you will give to them because of the conditions they find themselves in. And so we are taking the pain to mention this, because this new wave doesn't care if you are doing even the protocols right. You need to make sure that you as a human being, your nutritional well-being is top-notch, because that is like 60 to 70% of what you need to do as far as you making sure your body is physically strong. And then inflammatory bowel diseases. So if there is any condition you have, if it's even outside those ones we've mentioned here, there is a need for you to consult your caregiver, so that any plan or anything that needs to be done will be done for you. Now we have natural folates, and the reason why we mostly attach folic acid to the natural folates is because, like I said, how we handle our foods, because most of the folates are found in the leafy green vegetables especially, but how we handle our vegetables sometimes compromise the minerals in there. If you cook vegetables for 10 to 15 minutes, you are eating chaff. You have nothing in there. So if this is how you handle your contomere, by the time you are done, you have zero folic. So you didn't get the natural folic.
So we know contomere is very rich, but you've destroyed everything.
Yes, so sometimes
so
you realize
it thinking that
we cook with a
yourself
lot of water, and by the time you are done, you are even throwing the stock away, and it's looking greenish. What do you think is making the water or the stock greenish? You have taken a lot of the nutritive value from the contomere, so you are just filling your guts. That is roughages. You are not getting the folic acid you will need. So make sure that you are cooking your vegetables within the right range. If they are vegetables, you can eat them raw. Work with that. If you can just parboil them, parboiling can never go beyond 5 minutes. So it means that at that point you are retaining a lot of the nutritive value of that food, and so you will be able to meet your daily needs. And like I said, sometimes age, the certain factors, obviously I'm in a stage in my life where I lose blood every month. My mother is not like me. She's in menopause. And so definitely, if there is a need for critical supplementation, we wouldn't be on the same level. Now, aside menstruating, I am in my fertility age, or where I can make children. So definitely, my need for iron and folic acid is on another level. And now I have to also make sure I am fit as far as my immune system is concerned, because of honorable COVID. So you need to make sure that this is something you are conscious about. And research done by CDC revealed that 22% of women between age 12 to 49 had their folate stores not there. So if you it's a lot. So if you find yourself between 12 to 49, or anything between 12 to 50 years, now you need to make sure you are paying attention to what we are talking about as far as your iron and folic acid levels is concerned, because it's easier for us to be deficient, because every month we need to lose blood, and so that depletion can occur. And so for us, there is a conscious and deliberate need for us to probably go through supplementation.
So when we look at the foods, I mean, we can see folate-rich foods, iron-rich foods, and all of that. Is there any sort of meal that you can recommend, that is full of goodness that we can just easily take?
So you just put me on the spot, but I will do it. So let's say for breakfast, I can decide to have an omelette, where I have a lot of vegetables with egg. Well, we go out, fried eggs, they just count the onions, they count the tomatoes. Do an omelette in the house, cut your own tomatoes, cut your own onions, and then your lettuce, whatever. If there are people who even add carrot, it's your omelette. Make it your own, pump a lot of leafy greens in there, and then have your omelette with, let's say, 2 slices, the sardine tin equivalent to, of your wheat bread. Obviously, I won't come here and preach butter bread. Wheat bread. And then you can enjoy it with a cup of beverage like Milo. That is it for breakfast. Now for your snack, AM snack, I told you, we do breakfast, we do lunch, we do supper. This healthy in-betweens. Now, the snack will help you to be cushioned. Once you are cushioned, you don't have the place to eat more for your next meal. And then some of these minerals and vitamins we are talking about, they are heavily deposited. So I had egg, for instance. Egg is a primary or a first-class protein. Now, the 4 types of protein, we have the primary, secondary, tertiary, and the quaternary. If I'm eating eggs, I am serving myself. You're a biochemist, so you know that you have all the amino acids sitting in there. They say that genetically, what do you call it? It's been genetically, something has been done with it's 22 kind of dented, or there's a term for it. But what I know as from biochem was 20 amino acids. Now, if you are eating something like egg, you are blessing your body with every amino acid, and everyone plays a critical role as far as our overall health is concerned, as far as our immune health is concerned. So I had an omelette, is a blessed breakfast. I had my, let's say, plain salad or avocado salad or potato salad, whatever you want to have. Once there is the greens in there, the folic elements, the iron elements are sitting in there. Then for my later snack, I can decide to go for, let's say, 1 finger or 2 fingers of banana. If I have some almonds or nuts there, handful to go with it. Now the almonds will help me as far as, so everything we are planning is working with the iron and the folic acid. But mind you, we don't just need the iron and the folic acid, we need all the other nutrients. So I can decide to also go for an orange after my lunch. I would want to have banku and tilapia with some vegetables on the side, hot pepper, green, red, black, whatever, with banku. Now, I would have served my macronutrient needs as far as the protein, the fats and oil, and the carbohydrate is concerned, and would have pumped a lot of the micronutrients and some of the minerals we are talking about into it. My lunch, I've done banku and tilapia, so I want to go low. So I want to do mpoto.
Okay.
Yeah, so with a bit of mushrooms in there, cocoyam, or I can do it with potato. Potato is very good as far as iron, folate family is also concerned. So you can eat these simple meals. Banku and tilapia is a local thing. Mpoto is one of the most healthiest. You call it village food, but I love mpoto. It's like a pot dish where you have every goodness sitting in there. You can slot in some vegetables. It's your food. I always say that the fact that I did mpoto this way and then took a picture, projected it this way, doesn't mean that I had a mate who could do gobe with carrots in there. So you twist it the way you want. She gave nutrition to every plate she enjoys. So with the example I've given, or you can have kontomire palava sauce with soya bean, kebab, whatever. Soya bean is also a great source of iron. Now, if you're a vegetarian and you can't even take the first class protein or the primary protein like meat, soya is excellent as far as you meeting your nutrient needs are concerned. So we gave you a date.
Can we do any smoothies with any of these things?
Okay, so a treat. You can have a glass of green smoothie.
Okay.
And the green smoothie, I can decide to go for broccoli. If you don't know broccoli or spinach, you can work with dandelion. So I had somebody call me last week, was like, give us local examples. So I'm giving you local examples. In Ghana, dandelions are not expensive. You can just go to Cookie's house and beg Cookie for dandelion. He will give you a bag full of dandelion. So the greens you can work with. Make sure you prepare a good smoothie out of it based on the examples we even showed you on the screen. Whichever is around you, you can work with it. Have a smoothie or a wake-up smoothie. You need to prep your body. And as far as people are concerned now, we are concerned now, people are taking warm water with lemon, with what do you call honey and what have you in there. You can do your green smoothie, and then you will be boosting on your immune health and also improving on your blood health as far as your overall well-being is also concerned. You can have a handful of almond, and it falls under the pulses, nuts and seeds categories, which is also a great source of iron.
Fantastic.
And you can have freshly squeezed orange juice. That is an amazing vitamin C sitting in there.
People want to reach you.
Okay, so on Instagram, at The Nutritionist Akosia, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Nutritionist Akosia, and you can call me on 0243-335-0206.
All right. Well, Akosia Konedu Yadom has helped us to prep ourselves to boost our immune system. Now, our colleague Fred Jabano is standing by at the Supreme Court in the election petition